The Angrygeeks about to scream online. Episodes dropping right on time. One hot angel and one cool devil, bringing podcasts to a whole new level. They stop and stare as we display our greatness. All our enemies and foes, they'll be sure to hate this. When they ask who's the big wolf, you know who's the baddest. Put your hands up, come on, feel the madness. Feel the madness. Feel the madness. Everybody lose control. Feel the madness. Feel the madness. Come along and let's explode. Feel the madness. Come along, come along. Feel the madness. It's crazy in the panel room and it's getting heated. The crowd goes wild, not a soul is seated. You didn't come to have fun, you need to beat it. What Lewis brings to the stage can't be repeated. He brings style that's revolutionary. Sophia in the front doing the dingleberry. Others are bland and get no laughs. Dude, it's kinda scary. Critics and haters, y'all are so pathetic. We'll upstage you and be unapologetic. But back to the subject at hand, keep moving. People love the Angrygeeks, it's been proven. Appreciate all of the fans of Lewis and Sophia. So let us see your hands, come on, feel the madness. Feel the madness. Feel the madness.
Welcome to the shop that you've been dreaming of. Present View Comics, it fits like a glove. Over 250,000 tales waiting to be told. Find some magic, come and grab some gold. Flip through the pages, let your passion ignite. Every issue you find is a new delight. Pleasant View, let the heroes rise. In every frame, a new surprise. Come and explore the worlds we've got. Five-star wishes in every spot. From classics to treasures, we've got.
We are the cream of the crop and we just don't stop. Over the weekend, guess what? I was saved by the power of Jeebus. I was saved. Can you believe that? I was saved. And Sophia gave me a concussion and gave one of our viewers a concussion over the weekend. We had a fantastic time representing not only Angrygeeks, but also Reality Entertainment, Rhode Island Comic Con, Rhode Island Anime Con, Colorado Springs Comic Con. We had a blast out there taking pictures. We are shaking babies and kissing elbows, and Sophia was kissing babies and shaking hands. And Sophia was taking photos, and we had people recognizing us, and we had no autographs to sign or nothing like that. But I was saved. Somebody wanted to save me, but then Jeebus came over and straightened it out, and we'll get to that in a minute. But how are you, little one? What's going on?
I'm all right. How are you? I'm doing good.
I'm doing good now too. I feel better. We've spent like 3 weekends in a row together, and then we're gonna be going on a trip, and I can't wait.
Excuse
God
me.
bless you.
Sorry.
But I was blessed too. See, now we're both blessed. But see, it was funny. Jeebus didn't know how to answer my question. But anyway, we got some cool guests in the back. The boss himself, Eric Yako, asked to have these bosses in. But let's get to the comments first. I'm going to bring the guests in, but we'll talk about me being blessed too.
All right. First
Okay.
comment, Khalifa Cloud. Hello, Khalifa Cloud. Thank you for the
Khalifa
emotes. How you
Cloud.
doing? Mercado, how's it going? Happy
Mercado,
Thursday.
America.
All right, we've got amazing Artistic Spidey. Hello, HQ and Lewis. Happy Thursday, aka Friday's Eve. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
The freaking legends.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate
A
it.
Dingleberry
Yeah.
commission. Yes. Awesome photos. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's great to see y'all. It's good to see you too. Bless
you
you.
too.
Thank you. Hello,
Dominic
Lord
Thomas.
Mangoat.
Lord, there you go. Thank you. He left me because during the blessing of the Dominus Somus. So let's get to that really quick before we bring our guests. During the convention, I'm being me. I'm being happy. The bling, the king of bling is out there. I'm being me. People coming by. Well, we did, and I'm just being me, right? I'm sunglasses, cowboy hats, rhinestones everywhere. Mango sitting over there being the bodyguard, being the moderator.
Get to the
not
point.
letting-
Get to the point.
Some guy threw a microphone and camera in my face, the other way around, and told me he was going to save me and help me get into heaven because everyone in the place was full of sinners. Now, the little sister, did not know anything about this because she was out there kissing babies and shaking hands because she was over in the corner. So I have to be me. On the table, we had beads. And we all know when you go to Mardi Gras, you go to parties and beads. Now, our guests are backstage. They're laughing. Hello, Benny. What's going on? You know what you do with beads, right? So we had some friends. Beautiful Louis Savage. What's going on, boss? With Sensuke. So I handed out the beads to some beautiful ladies that were blessed
Jesus
by the
saves.
Lord.
Yeah.
But Jesus saves. That's right. Jesus saves. I handed the beads out to lady that were blessed by God, if you understand what I mean. And Sophia heard about this and she started coming over to stop it, but then she was stopped by people that knew what I was doing because the guy was going off on me, telling me I was bad and I was a sinner. But then I turned it around on the guy and told him he was the one that was actually a sinner. Not yet. Not yet. She did not. Well, she did later on but we'll get to that too.
Get to it.
I told the guy that I was going to get into heaven because I was going to bring a dog with me, man's best friend. And I said, because man's best friend is dog. And the guy just looked at me and lost his mind. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, because dog is God spelled backwards. And God is man's best friend, and so is dog. And then I told the guy that he was sinning right now because he was recording me, my voice and my picture without my consent. And I can have him ejected and arrested from the con. And he needed to delete the footage. And he did, along with everybody else's footage, because he was harassing me. So I pulled it around. Haha, true, very good. Like that. And then a cosplayer came by that was dressed up as Jeebus, and we're going to post that video. Sophia recorded him, and he said I was 100% in the right to give my friends, the ladies, beads for being blessed by Jeebus and his father. But then, since Sophia sneezed, I said to him, I said, Jeebus, when your dad sneezes, what do you say? And Jeebus said, I don't know, maybe bless us. I don't know, but that's a true story. And then on top of that, I was trying to live stream, but the Wi-Fi was really bad and my phone was tilted down so it can come up to me like this. And Sophia thought I was recording.
Hello.
What's up, Joe? Sophia thought I was recording someone's derriere, and she came over and she smacked my phone and it went flying. And the people watching the stream said they got a concussion because Sophia thought I was being rude and stuff like that. But she smacked the phone right up my hand because she thought I was recording somebody's butt. And I was like, why do that? No, maybe. But
Flying phone. Yeah, it did go flying.
It was a flying phone. Anyway,
Okay.
Without further ado, how was your time abusing me?
I wasn't abusing you. I abused the phone.
You,
See, you should have been using the Temu phone.
Yes, I should have been. Oh, we didn't even bring that. But, and everybody asked Sophia after she knocked the phone out of my hand, "Are you okay?" And this is what she did. "I'm fine. Why would you ask? I'm perfectly fine." She did that like it was nothing new for her to abuse her older brother. Everything was fine. Like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Anyway, without further ado, the phone went full Superman mode. Yes, it did. It flew.
Okay.
I mean, shoot.
Without
All right.
further ado,
Yes, we have up-and-coming artist and writer, a brother creative team that the boss himself from Alternate Universe LLC, Milford in New Haven, had been for weeks saying, "You got to get this cat in. You got to get these cats in. You got to get these cats in." Yes, Eric, but they're hard to nail down. I'm going to bring in brother number one. He is the talent. He is the artist. And talent number two, I was told to say that because he slipped me some green M&Ms. The one and only Nadir Balan. What's going on?
Hey everyone, Louis, Sophia, it's great to see you. Thank you for having
good to
me.
see you.
Good to see you.
Good to see
Okay.
you. Welcome. And we have Yenner.
Yanir. What kind of intro was that? That was like...
I'm sorry.
Like,
I'm sorry.
it's like Kermit the Frog. It's just Yenner. Yeah, this is it.
I'm sorry.
That's perfect. I love it. That was the best intro I've ever had. I was going to say. That's pretty good.
I'm
That's
sorry.
the only intro you ever had. What are you talking about?
It was a very good time.
My bad. I thought Lewis was going to say more.
Lie anyway, so this is as honest as you can be.
My
All right,
bad.
so the book, Cander's Quest, it's right here. All right, wait, before we put that up, what was that comment?
Trying to stream with the Temu phone might cause a fire. Proceed with caution.
Very, very true. Now, the Temu phone, let's tell our guests, the Temu phone is a phone that is basically that size.
It's pretty small.
It is an actual phone, and it actually works. Okay, so let's talk about Cander's Quest. Where did the idea come from? Where did it originate from? What made you two both sit down? Both brothers, you are brothers. What made you guys sit down? Who came up with the idea first? And not to drive any family tension, we're gonna wait till the other half of the show before we do that. Where did the concept come from? And let's where did the dream come from?
So I can jump into that. There was like two forks that combined to create this story. So the first was I've been an illustrator for comic book artist for like 20 years. I live in Connecticut, but I'm also obsessed with sort of history, and World War I is the primary area that I'm really interested in. In 2017, the New Haven Museum contacted me out of the blue, and they had heard about me being a local artist, and so they emailed me and said, "Hey, we want to put up a show about the centennial celebration of U.S. involvement in World War I, but we want to do it like all these other museums are doing, pictures and stuff like that, but we want to do like a comic book style presentation. We have a journal from a soldier who participated, who was local to Connecticut, who participated, and we have like a 90-page journal of his. That's the artifact in the museum for the show, but we want to create like these paintings that are in comic book style for the show, and we want to have several different artists sort of read the journal and illustrate different parts of it. Would you be interested?" Well, I didn't even get to the end of that email before I accepted it, and I didn't look at the timeline or anything like that, but I was like, yes, World War I comics, yes, please. And then I read the details, and so they sent me a sample of the journal, and I knew two things. First, reading it, I knew that every artist that they randomly contacted would draw the same action-packed parts, so I knew they were going to have a problem. So I was like, I'm going to solve your problem. I'm going to draw you a sample that is going to be designed so that you use it as the promo pieces for all your advertising. So I was like, I'm going to make the ultimate hero shot. So I did that as a sample, and that was my goal to get into this sort of show. And so it was actually like the character from the show was actually the soldier was a courier. He was one of the first motorcycle couriers. And actually, I made a model of him there. You can sort of see him. But anyway, so I came up with this image of him on a motorcycle and sort of birds flying around and explosions and comic panels in the back. And they actually called me after I sent that in, and they were really excited. They're like, come in for a meeting. I went for a meeting, and they said, can you do the whole show instead? And I said, well, A, yes, B, no, because I don't have the time to do it because I have a day job, and C, how big can I make these things? And so they said, well, in between these windows that we have in the gallery, the largest you could go is like 6 foot by 4 foot. So you can go that big. And I was like, well, okay, I don't know how to make canvases that big, but my wife does. So I recruited my wife. She built these canvases. Anyway, long story short, I came up with 6 foot by 4 foot paintings for this show. And it took you through, in a comic book style, sort of this journey of World War I that the soldier went through. It had sort of, like a comic book graphic narrative style, but a lot of historic realism in it as well, without pulling any punches. And so when the show opened, it attracted two types of audience. One was an older audience who was excited about the content, right? They wanted to come and see about World War I. And two was a younger audience that was excited because it was comic book style and graphic narrative. And so they came, and they both interacted with the imagery in a very different way. And so the style that I chose was stark black and white, and just flat red background. And so I was able to play with sort of light and shadow in that way. And I was experimenting with, different inks and just trying to make it really flat and stuff like that. And the older audience was sort of investigating. They didn't really know how to read comics, so I had panels and stuff like that. And so they were engaging with it with just like looking at how it was structured. And by doing so, they were familiarizing sort of with the new age, what the kids like in these comic books, right? Which is only 100 years old, but whatever. But and then the younger kids who were, I'd say up to like 30, 35 roughly age-wise, were really excited about it because it was a different format, and they were bringing their kids to sort of experience something that they normally wouldn't have engaged with that type of content. So I was there giving lectures every weekend about World War I and painting techniques. So that was really fun. But because of that, I was able to engage with the audience and how they were witnessing my artwork and how they were engaging with it. And I had never had that opportunity before. And what I had done with one of the panels was I was just playing with sort of just trying to make myself entertained while I was drawing some of these images. I never thought anything was going to come out of it, but one of the images, there was a cow, and somebody was pulling on this cow, like the chef, they had stolen a cow, and somebody was pulling this cow. And so while I was drawing the pattern of the cow, I thought to myself, well, it would be kind of fun to hide the map of Europe in the cow's pattern. And show sort of where the action was actually taking place. And I didn't think much of it. I didn't think anybody was going to notice it, but that was just something I threw in there. And I love doing that kind of thing. And I never get to do it enough. And when I see that kind of thing, I get very excited. So I threw that in there. And sort of the audience was sort of going through there. And then one day somebody noticed that. And they just went crazy, because they went from being a passive viewer of what I had produced to an active participant. Because I was there, they were there, they started asking questions. They were like, oh my God, I saw blah, blah. And so we started talking in a whole different way about the subject matter. And that stuck with me. I was like, this is such a good way to get people excited and be an active participant in the work, right? And I love that. I don't want to tell you what this is. You tell me what this is, right? That there was an unintended consequence. So I learned a lot from that too. That was the only sort of hidden image I had hidden in those paintings. There were 6 large paintings. But people, once they found that one thing, they started finding all sorts of stuff that didn't exist in the paintings. And so,
Really?
yeah, I had like an old couple come up, and they, after I had finished talking, and they had come up and they were like, I found the poodle, I found the poodle. And there was a ship, like a tugboat, and there was steam coming out of the tugboat. And they were like, that you put a poodle in there, right? And I was like, yeah, I love your excitement, but why on earth would I put a poodle? That makes no sense. And when I look at it, yeah, I could see it, right? It's like a cloud, and okay, so you're interpreting. But that stuck with me a lot. And I was like, if I have creative control over a project, that's the type of thing I want to do. And I don't want to shortchange the audience. I want to put that stuff in there because I want to see stuff like that. So I want to have the, and that was years before this project came to being. And I did a few projects since then, and I never really had creative control. It's always somebody else writing the story, and you sort of do your best to make it as exciting as possible. The second fork of that story, Yanar and his wife have been writing mental health. So I should mention, Yanar is a psychiatrist.
Oh.
Oh
He-
boy.
Do you want
Okay.
to?
Emergency room psychiatrist. Yeah. So
Yeah. Do you want to do your own intro?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome. So I'm an emergency room psychiatrist. I worked in the busiest ERs across America, and so on the East Coast, on the West Coast, with some of the sort of the people in the greatest time of their lives and their needs, and some of the most sort of disenfranchised folks as well. So think emergency room psychiatry, busiest ERs, and so we were writing, and we still continue to write with my wife mental health textbooks, and so. The one that we did, the first one that we did, Nadir, well, he did the cover for all of them, but the first one we did, we had sort of a hidden image. It was like the brain, but like as if it's the inside of an emergency room. So this is
Okay.
2017. So this is our first book came out, and that's doing all right, thankfully. And then Nadir's working on this show in New Haven, but also something that you didn't mention, which is a little darker, which is our father was dying and then passed right around that time. So you've got trauma, grief, the sort of the realization of now you're the sort of the next generation with no one to fall back on. You're the and my son was, I don't know, it was like 6 or 7 at that time, and so realizing how do we then relate with one another, and really to your earlier sort of preamble of working with brothers and sisters and family was how do we then work together in this new way that we're understanding ourselves and who we are in the world, and so. We said, wouldn't it be awesome if we were able to work with one another? And so he was doing the covers. We started doing internal work together, and then now fast forwarding into 3 years ago. So, right, this is the third fork.
Yeah.
Oh dear, yeah, go. That's
Yeah.
all.
So we had done, by this time we had probably collaborated on like 3 textbooks.
3, yeah, the 5th is coming out, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we had done 3 textbooks, and we always, we are constantly over this course of time. This is like almost a 10-year
Yep.
period, right? At that time, maybe a little less. But so we had always been talking about the content of the mental health books, the different impacts and how society is changing and how mental health issues are changing as we go, and they're intensifying, and there are different reasons for it. And what are the underlying causes of that? How is it affecting our lives? Because we're going through different transitions of life and different phases of our lives. And we put out a book. I can't remember which one it was, but anyway.
Conchill, or rewrite.
Anyway, but so we put it out, and the cover got some recognition because I had
Rewrite. Eyeball, yeah.
yeah, so it was an eyeball, but it looked like sort of a photographic eyeball, but I had embedded like a ton of hidden images in it, and it's really hard to find them. And I really did it for myself, but there was tons and tons of hidden images in just what looked like a really simple image. And so our editor loved what we were doing, and she approached us and she said, hey, why don't you guys look? You have 2 different worlds of expertise, and you've been working together. Why don't you put this together into a graphic novel?
It wasn't her. It was her husband, who was like he was another angry geek who was a fan of Nadir's stuff, because Nadir did stuff with like Stan Lee, and he's done stuff in Marvel, and he's done a ton of stuff. Nadir's in heavy metal. He's like done a tremendous amount of stuff. So our editor at Routledge, this medical textbook company, like super serious, her husband has like a basement full of like thousands of comic books, and she approaches Nadir. She's like, Yanar, we'll do whatever you do as long as Nadir illustrates it. I'm like, okay, whatever, sure. So that's strong number 3. I'm like, it's no joke. That's the God Woke book that Nadir has on his
Oh,
on
yeah.
his shelf there. He did that with Shatner and Stan Lee. Yeah, they got an award. Yeah,
Right there.
That's
Okay.
so awesome.
Yeah, so they approached us and said, "Hey, why don't you do a graphic novel? You have the expertise, and you know you'll work with the NR on a comic." And I was like, I'll be honest with you guys. My first reaction was like 1,000% no. I'm not doing it. It's not. That'll never work. I'm not going to take direction from this guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't know. I don't want an editor. You know, you at Rutledge, like, you know, I didn't say this to them, but I was like, you're not comic book publishers. You don't know what you're talking about. I don't want an editor. I don't want anybody telling me how storytelling works or anything like this. A medical, you know, a book with a medical sort of bend to it. It sounds boring. You know, it sounds like it has bad artwork before I've even drawn it, right? Like, any of that. And so, you know, there was probably like a couple weeks of like silence after that.
Dude, I had to come to your house.
Yeah, well, so we had some issues.
Did you go there with a baseball bat?
I was like, yeah, I'm in California, he's in Connecticut. I'm like, dude, no, we got to do this. Yeah. So, anyway.
So there was some convincing involved, but basically I was like, okay, so what do I have to do to make this, you know, good? And so I said, all right, I want no editor. B, I want 100% creative control. And so I asked for that. And, you know, well, so here's the thing. Louis, Sophia, you might find yourselves in a situation where somebody's pressuring you to do something, and the best way to get out of it is not to say no, but to make the condition so hard that the other person will reject you, right? Like, so I was like, if I make this hard enough, they'll be the ones who said no. I was willing to work it out, but you know, so I did that, and they said yes. You go right ahead. Have 100% creative control. Have no editor. You just do what you want to do. We're going to leave you alone. And I was like, okay, now condition C. I want an extension. So
and
that
size, and the size too.
Well, so yeah, the size. I do have a copy here. So this is.
Hold on.
It's larger than a regular comic, so I actually
Nice.
Oh.
regular comic that I'm reading right now. You can see that.
Whoa.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it is actually, it's sort of, it's the same proportions of a regular comic, but in treasury size. So once they saw the sample pages coming in, they were like, okay, no problem. We're going to go big with it. And so
before that, the story, right? So the story. So my wife, she's an author as well. She's a psychologist, but she's also an author, and we write stuff together. And so she had this fiction story as a novel. It was a manuscript that she was ready to publish as a fiction book. And so Nadir and I were just like talking, okay, what do we write about? And our biggest, I mean, we're late 40s at this point, and so I've known him literally all my life. And so our fantasy, you're mid. Yeah, you're mid. I'm late. No, so all of our lives.
Wait, excuse me, Yanir. I would hope you know him your whole life. He's your brother.
It's true by default. Yeah, and so yeah. So,
By default.
let's make something that if we saw on the shelf, because we're comic book nerds and we have huge, big, all of our lives, and so it's like if we saw this on the shelf, that we would actually buy it. Right? Because there's, you know, with mental health being a lot more popularized over the last decade or so, there's a lot of stuff out there, and it's important, but the art is lacking. It's just not there. There's the content is there, the subject matter expertise is there, but the art sort of leaves a lot to be desired. And so with Nadir, we're like, dude, if we do something, it has to be something that's going to be awesome, and let's have fun with it. And so when our editor through Routledge, when they said yes to everything, I was just like, this doesn't make any sense. It's kind of awesome, and they trust the work that we've done, and we were already in contract for our fifth book. So this is our number 4, and so our fifth book's coming out. So for that as well, so they're like, do this and make it however you guys want. That was when Nadir and I were just like, dude, what are we gonna write? Like, and so we had ideas, and we wanted it to be, because it's like, and this is their first Routledge's, and so they're under the Taylor and Francis umbrella. Oh, dude, get this, you guys will like this. So Taylor and Francis is the larger group that publishes all the research articles and stuff, and then Routledge is an imprint of them. Informa is the larger company that also purchased all of the fan expos. So, and this is like serendipitous. I had no.
We were
idea.
just at Fan Expo this past weekend.
You guys were Boston, yeah, that's right. And so, you know, I saw the stuff you guys have online, and so like so that's serendipitous, nothing to do with us, because we got this agreement. We got the contract, I don't know, a couple of years back. So they had Fan Expo. They got it after we started with them for Kadar's Quest. But that's where we're like, okay. So I go to my wife, who couldn't be here. She's seeing patients right now, she's seeing clients. But the reality is that I went to her and I was like, hey, idea, what do we do? And so again, it was a whole nother sort of negotiation. Would it be cool if we, take, cannibalize this fiction novel, because she's an amazing writer, to then say, hey, can we make this in a, narrative but also visual narrative form, like the graphic novel? And so, Nadir, back to you. That's sort of where.
Yeah, well. So
Before we do, and speaking of mental health, we
Yeah.
have to take a break for a sponsor.
Yeah.
And Sophia, why don't you tell our two guests? This is like so
Perfect.
weird, and it happens all the time. Why don't you tell our guest about our sponsor? Well, stay up there.
The Erica Legacy Foundation. So the Erica Legacy Foundation is a foundation that helps people in need that are going through crisis mentally, emotionally. If you or a loved one are going through a hard time, please visit theericalegacy.com. They will help you.
It's now time for quiz with Quimsel.
And Sophia on the beat, we turning heads, bringing heat to the street. Get ready now, it's our time to shine. Feel the rhythm, every move is divine. Feel the madness, it's a party in your soul. Feel the madness, let the good times roll. Feel the madness, come and join the ride.
All right, I'm going to ask a question and you're going to answer correctly. First will be the guests, then chat, and then Lewis. Today's question is, who voiced Timon in The Lion King?
First, I want to say I'm sorry that we cut you off really quick. The program glitched.
Wait, me?
Yeah, you.
It's fine.
Okay, guys.
Ooh.
Timon and Lion, Robin Williams.
No, I know who it is. I know.
Was it
I know
you?
who it. No, it wasn't me.
Oh, nice. No, I don't know. Who? What's your guess?
I said
Chat?
Robin Williams. No.
Yeah,
Chat.
near? No.
Nathan Lane?
Was it that kid from? Was it that actor
No.
from? Oh, what's that guy's name?
John Cena. John Cena before.
John Cena.
That'd be awesome. I'd watch that.
Wait, wasn't it that actor from Full House? Was that?
No,
Who
that
did-
was Simba. And it was from Home Improvement. No, that was Simba.
I was in the vicinity.
Yes, you were. We did have a winner.
Nice.
All right, Lewis?
Nathan Lane.
Oh, it
Nathan
was?
Lane.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, of course I would know
Nice. That is
Ooh.
fantastic.
who voiced.
All right.
Fantastic.
I literally just got done drawing Timon and Pumbaa 2 a couple weeks ago. Nice. Let's go.
Nice.
I remember seeing the picture. That's so cool. All right.
Yes. Spidey is awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. All right, now it's so weird sometimes in our stream, where a couple weeks ago we had a movie star and director for a fairy tale, and a fairy tale, excuse me. And a question of the week was about, would you rather have a genie or
Fairy.
a genie or or fair or something, and it wasn't planned. It was just random, and the movie was all about whatever. And now you guys are here talking about mental health, and our sponsor is mental health. It's just crazy.
Well, if you're going to
Totally
pretend we're not in a simulation, I don't know how you're going to defend that.
Let's bring up some artwork before the next break. What is going on in this scene right here? How long did it take up? And now, with Nadir, when it comes to your brother's words or your sister-in-law's words, how do you translate them into beautiful art like this?
Thanks. So the first thing I did was get rid of all of their words, because the book is almost entirely silent. Yeah, if you go through the book, there's almost no words. That was very much on purpose, because I wanted to take the essence of the words and meditate on it, and really give what people are coming to comic books for. If you boil it down, it's not the words, it's the images. A comic book can survive with images, or survive without words. It can't survive without images. So I really wanted to boil it down to the essence of what I thought was the best way to describe extremely complex emotions that are very hard to put into words. And words have a way of solidifying the content, and they have a way of sort of blocking the imagination because you're describing something to somebody and that's your point of view. But when you see something that's a visual interpretation, you're putting your own perspective and your own history into the interpretation of that. And that's exactly what I wanted the audience to be, writing their own story and interpreting their own story and narrative and seeing themselves in the story. And so we were, that's why I wanted it to be silent, but very complicated and visually dense, so that there's a lot of information in the book, and it's up to you to sort of pick out what makes sense and what's relevant to you and how you think that's impacting the characters along the story. And the story is really layered in 3 different sort of narrative structures. One is the very simple, you can read through it in 10 minutes, it's a relatively surface level story. The next level is finding the symbols, finding the hidden images. There's a lot of hidden images. There's a lot of puzzles. There's a lot of ciphers. There's a lot of very sort of discrete things and subtleties in there. And the third level is for the extremely obsessive to really go bananas with it the way I did and spend a lot of time with it. Have the book in your hand, turn it upside down, use it as a physical artifact, and really sort of play with it in the physical world. And that was part of my message in the book that I inserted, was sort of getting away from the cognitive dissonance of like living in the digital world and then coming back to the physical world and trying to have your brain make sense of like the disappointment of the real world after the shiny digital world that's designed to like keep us stimulated, right? And but
Okay.
then we have to exist. And so the book sort of tries to marry those concepts together and give you a way to deal with that and keep you going back and forth. So that's why the first thing I had to do was get rid of the words.
Okay.
And having those, the complexity was essentially taking what was extreme anxiety in the book and interpreting it from my own life experiences of what the world turns into when I'm experiencing extreme anxiety. What do people look like? What does the environment look like? How do things change? How am I interpreting those? And that's when the sort of editorial freedom came into play, because then I really was able to like just explore and explore. And when it felt right, finally, it was right. And I didn't have to conceptualize and put on paper why it was right. I knew that I felt that it was right. And this is an emotion that I've understood and experienced in my life. And it's complicated. And here I want you to interpret that as well. And so that's why they look, very dense and weird.
Groovy. Nadir, with Nadir not working with an editor, working without a net, he's taking your words, your wife's words, putting them to images. What was your reaction the first time you saw these images? Because apparently, you guys work 2 different, thousands of miles away. So you're seeing them. You guys have no editor. You're working on them. Was there anything that you saw and said, I want to change this? Or was everything, bro, you knocked it out of the park? Or did you look at something and go, what the hell is going on here?
We need more, because we grew up, Nadir and I grew up in Istanbul, in Turkey, and so we speak Turkish, we speak English, and so we've been around the world, so we know sort of some of the barriers culturally, but also linguistically, that can occur when you're trying to read something in a language that you don't know. Like, I didn't know Turkish, and we had to learn Turkish, and so for people to sort of pick up a sort of a comic like this, it needed to be visually rich and something that could stand on its own, so that if you want to translate it or you want to sort of work on other people's experiences. So the big sort of piece, I think the hardest part, what Nadir was talking about, was removing those words, but we were always working in concert with one another to say, like, how would we describe this? What does trauma look like? What does a panic attack look like? What does perception versus reality look like? We've got a whole section in the book where and some of it's partially autobiographical, and looking at theater space where the kid, he's a middle school student, he goes into a theater, what a kid imagines his middle school theater to be, and then there's the reality. And so then there's the ciphers, and then there's a lot of the philosophical, historical, religious texts that my brother and I have read throughout the years and enjoy sharing with one another, to then say, hey, let's add some of these pieces in as well. So when Nadir would come in and say, hey, check this out, it would just continuously blow us away. My wife and I were just like, this is amazing, insane. And so, and then I think the big thing that I learned was the sizing of the page itself. So I was like, is this going to look good? So our anxiety was, are the printers, because they don't do comics, are they going to do it justice? Is the fidelity going to sort of remain where you can see the shading? Because it's all, it's all black and white, just the cover and the back cover are in color. And so it blew us away. And I've seen Nadir's work progress over the decades, and it's just phenomenal. And so that's where we said, hey, I think we've got something, let's add more. And so Nadir puts like puzzles in, you said ciphers, riddles, you have to turn it upside down sometimes. There's hidden images, there was stuff. He's like, did you find the frog in every page? And I'm like, yeah, I did. He's like, no, you didn't. I'm like, I'm going to, I promise you. So it's like we've got this back and forth. And it's been like years that we've been working on this stuff. And so that's sort of the fun piece too, where now we're at a point where we're like, dude, this is something that we are proud of. But also when we show it to kids, younger kids, like 13, 14, 15, and they're able to experience it at a different level. And this sort of ties back to the stuff that Nadir was talking about with his first experience in the museum piece. So a lot of learning, but Nadir's stuff it's amazing. I mean,
yes, it is. All right, we're good. Whoa,
That's
D-Mac.
awesome, D-Mac.
Well, nice. Congratulations. That's
Yeah,
fun.
that is so awesome.
All right, I'm going to bring up another page. Let's go with this. This right here. Is this the cover of the book, the back of the book? Okay.
Yeah, that's the cover, and just sort of added that was sort of like an advertisement we created, just to give a little context. My dream in the beginning was that people would figure out that it was a graphic novel with puzzles and symbols and hidden images, and I don't know why I thought that, because that's a crazy thing to assume. So nobody quite figured that out as soon as it got published. So I started telling people that, you got to look for a little bit more than what you're used to. This goes a little bit beyond what you would normally expect from a comic. So I started giving a little bit away. And so that's where this page also came from. It's been fun when people see, and I'll be honest with you, one of my favorite things is my nephew, my brother's son, is 14 now. He was looking through the book.
He's watching this live.
Okay, cool. So he was.
Hey, what's his name?
Avram.
Abram, what's going on, my little brother? How are you?
Nice. Oh yeah, Lord Mangoat has the website. There you go.
Yeah, that's best mod in the business.
That is amazing. But so I was showing him some stuff, and he was like, he was dismissing, that's that. Oh, you misspelled something there. And I was like, did I? Look at it again. And he's looking at it, and I was like, what does that say backwards? And he read it, and he was like, oh, no way. That's awesome. You're a smart guy. You're a smart guy. And I was like, all right, I did something right. I got praise from a 14-year-old. That's good.
Oh my God. So Mango, one of our mods, best mod in the business, already brought up the website for the people that are watching it here on the live stream, and those of you watching on public access and on Pod TV. But for those that are listening on your favorite podcast app, the website, link to the Instagram page are all in the description of this episode. So please, let's get to that description, and you can find those links, and it'll bring you right to the website now. Before we get to our next break, I do have a question. Besides the website, besides Eric's shop, Alternate Universe LLC, which is our next segment, is brought to us by, boys, where can we get the book? And where can our viewers, our fans, Angrygeeks fans that are now your fans, where can they get this book signed by you guys? Because that's, our fans are rabid. They like their stuff signed. Where could they get it signed?
Fantastic. So we will be at GalaxyCon at the end of this month, right? And Cape and Cowl Con also at the end of this month. That's in Oakland, right? And then after that, we will be in Baltimore at the end of September. and I am on the wait list for Rhode Island Con. It seems like I have
Oh!
a one in approximately $1.5 million chance of getting into but I
Hey,
am
you
on
know
the list
people.
somewhere. If you go down long enough on that list, I'm on it. So,
You know people. You
Yeah,
know
exactly.
people at Rhode
I
Island.
know how to get on lists. And then
And then it's on Barnes and Nobles and Amazon and stuff, and Root Ledger's website. And so yeah, it's you can find it anywhere between like $5 and $12. Yeah, it's online. So we made it as accessible as possible. So and definitely shout out to us. Drop us a line. And Nadir always does the original artwork when he meets folks.
yeah, if you find us at a con, we're selling them at discounts, and yeah, I'll more than happy to do a sketch and sign and get to know anybody who's interested.
All
Good
right,
to know.
before we get to our next break, Sophia, you do have an announcement. I saw it come through. Were we just rated?
By Ray in the city from New Zealand.
Yes, thank you very much. Welcome in,
Thank
Raiders.
you for the raid,
Welcome.
Ray.
Yes, thank
Hello,
you. Thank
everybody.
you. All right, and now, speaking of list, Sophia, do you want to make that announcement?
Ray.
Ray!
There's
my
Ray
brother.
himself,
There is
the
Ray.
legend.
Thank
He's the legend.
Thank you so
The
much for the
legend. Hello from New
Thank you
Zealand.
so much for the raid, brother. Appreciate it. Before we get to our next segment, do you want to mention about the list or no?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Ray. We
brother.
want you on the show, bro. When are you going to be on our show? Yes. Okay, so the announcement. The freaking legend. Yes, the legend himself. So the announcement is, with the Erica Legacy Foundation, Louis and I are approved as streamers for safe space for people to come hang out, feel good about themselves, and have a good time and laugh. And yeah, we are on the list. So
Well, actually, not just you and I.
the legend in the house, right?
Yes.
Which
Excuse me, not just you and I, but
a
you
lot of people.
twice. You twice, your own channel as well, Sophia_Cormier. Where when I'm not with you and you're gaming, you're on there twice. So, hey, Tyler, what's going on? So I just wanted to
Thank
point
you,
it out
Spidey.
that you are on there twice. Hey, guess what?
Every week there's a question to find. Raise what you know how. They're so one of a kind. With laughter in the air, we twist and we turn silly questions we ask from which we all learn. Ask me anything, I'm ready to play. It's the question of the week. Let's dive right in. We doesn't matter. Where do we begin? Silly little queries, they never grow.
From the Book of Yakko, it's the question of the week. And Nadir, you know who Eric is. And Alternate Universe LLC, Milford in New Haven, is bringing us question of the week like they do always. But it's Thursday. So we're going to do question of the week just a little bit different. Sophia's going to do question number 1. And then I will do question number 2. Sophia, where's your banner? Well, oh, here it is. Sophia, why is the studio... Sophia, explain something to me without telling me what it is in 5 words.
Okay.
Sophia.
Yes. All right. Skinny. Utensil. Tool. A tool. Ink. Compact. Colorful.
Can we all guess?
Yeah.
Is it a pen?
Close.
Ooh.
Close.
Yenner?
I was thinking maybe a makeup thing for that would be a pen maybe. No.
Very close. Very close.
Lipstick. Lipstick?
Sharpie.
Sharpie.
Ah.
Sharpie. Pen is really close, though. It is very close. I mean, is it considered a pen? It's a marker, but close.
Yeah.
Very close.
Got into
All right.
subsections there. All right.
Now
Ray says
it's
I was
my-
going to say pen.
Okay, now it's my turn. Explain something to me without giving it away in 5 words or less. Okay. Rubber, OD, and ID.
Wait, what? What the hell's that?
OD and ID.
What does that mean?
Okay, you'll figure it out. So rubber, OD, and ID.
Are those all the words?
Yeah. No. That's 2.
Okay. Are you going to say the word?
With air, without air.
Uh-huh.
Round or flat?
A tire?
Oh, little one. Good. Wow. How did you do that?
Wow.
I don't know, but what do you mean by ODID? What the hell does that even
Because
mean?
the OD is the outside of your tire, and the ID is the inside where the rim goes. Oh my God, you surprised me.
Wow.
How did you?
I don't
that was
know.
not rehearsed, guys. Oh my God, you got that. How did you get that?
Good guess. I was way far out. I was about to say the shape your body makes when you're in anaphylactic shock or something like rubber, no air, rubber. Like, I don't know. That was like.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with that.
Yeah, Yenner's like, what the hell just
W.
Inflatable things like
Yes.
advertising selling cars like those.
Hey, Bay City, what's going on? No, granted, when my car breaks, I'll call
Yeah,
my wife or my little sister. They'll do the car stuff, not me.
Okay, just one thing. I worked in an auto body shop for 10 years. What? I've never once heard that freaking term before.
Really? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
That's,
Never.
Wow. Well, the OD of the tire and the ID of the tire, the inner. Wow, you got it.
Well, thank you.
This is not just a safe space, it's an educational space.
Yes. Yes.
All right, guys, this is for either one of you. How long from page to print to shelf did it take to get this project out?
I think it was 2 years.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
2 years.
Two
I mean,
weeks?
that's reality. That's the brutal reality of it. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
There was a long period. I mean, there was a long period between figuring out that we were doing the project and what we were doing with the project. There was a chunk of time there. And there was also a good chunk of time in between there where I was experiencing new life experiences and traumas that I then reincorporated, because like the older we get, everybody knows this, the older we get, we just accumulate more and more trauma. So our experiences just get better and better. And, the way we interpret the world get better and better. So I had to keep putting stuff back in there as I drew. Like I definitely drew the book and then went back and redrew about half of it after I was done. So
Okay. Yanir, this one's for you.
Yep.
The book is out. It's in the can. You're going to go to conventions. You're going to sell the book. What is anything for a sequel? Do you have plans for a sequel? Do you and your wife have something that you want to get going? Is there any chances of a follow-up? Do you have a follow-up written?
So the answer is yes. And now we're back in the cycle of convincing Nadir to illustrate it. But the answer is yes, right? So
Well, smack them. I mean, that's what she would do to me if we were.
Yeah.
Lewis, you're negotiating from a position of weakness. I have to have my new conditions met. I have so
the
many
size
more
of a twin bed.
I have to come up with so many requests that by the time they're whittled down, I have something really good to work with.
But the answer is yes.
You don't just go in with a positive attitude. You got to go. It's hardball, family or business. You start hardball.
Wow.
Q&A. Somebody wants Q&A. No, we do have a sequel in mind. We want to make it so that we have from a publishing and a distribution perspective, a little bit more of a reach than medical textbook. And so that's why we're trying to figure out the next sort of step in terms of distribution of it. But otherwise, we've got ideas, and this is an all ages book, so it sort of will hit sort of multiple audiences. And so now we're trying to figure out how do we make sure that more people get to it. So that's why we're super grateful to the two of you for this platform. But yeah, I mean, if Q&A is on the menu, it's certainly open to.
We have 5 minutes left for TV. So John, if you have a question, please fire it into chat really, really quick. We are tight on time. We are 7 to 8 o'clock. If you have a quick question, please fire it up and the boys will answer it for you really, really quick. Sophia, do you have a quick question? No. Okay. So John, if you have a quick question for Nadir or Yenner, please fire it up really quick. We have 4 minutes left on TV time. I feel like I'm back in wrestling. Television time remaining.
Yes.
All right.
Do you guys play video games?
I had to give up video games while I was drawing this. That I was playing. I was playing Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
I have the Triforce.
I mean, I can't say enough about it. I probably lived more in that game than I have in the real world. But I had to stop. I was getting, I'm just obsessive. I have to collect everything, and it's just not okay. It's not okay if I don't have everything. And so, but I didn't get to the end of it because I was like, I really have to draw this book, and I haven't played anything since.
Okay,
Gotcha.
we do have a question, Sophia.
What inspired you to make this amazing book?
So yeah, it was really the primary. If I had to boil it down, it was the desire to find something on the shelf that I was taking a chance on without knowing what it was, that was worth the chance. Because too many times I take a chance on an independent book and I'm disappointed. And you don't know what you're getting with an independent book, right? You're getting something out there. It's not mainstream. With mainstream, you're getting good stuff, but you know kind of what you're getting. With an independent thing, you're looking for something different. You're not looking for, the same thing you're finding in mainstream. And I'm consistently disappointed. And so I wanted to find I would like just pick up something that's obscure. I've never heard of it. It's a total chance. And wow, I'm so glad I did, because it's an artifact and it's something that I want to keep going back to. And I was like, if I can't find it, I want to create it. So that's
Awesome. Yenir, you have something to add before we wrap up?
Just lastly, that life and all the emotions that come with it is part of being alive, and it's part of the experience. And for folks to realize that you can have those experiences and actually come through them and learn more about yourself. And so that's what I wanted to put out in the world, and make it so that people have this example so they can recognize themselves in the art and the story, but also realize that they're not alone. And so that was our biggest inspiration for me and my life.
That is
Awesome.
amazing. All right, so Yenir, we're going to give you the floor for really quick. Please tell everyone where they can find you on social media. If they have any questions about the book on your part of the book, please tell everyone where they can find you, and the floor is yours.
Sure. Well, thank you so much. I'm Nadir Balan on Instagram. It's my full name. We also have Kadar's Quest, also on Instagram. You can find us there. I'm on LinkedIn and sort of the traditional thing, but I'll definitely answer and respond to questions or comments that folks have. KadarsQuest.com also has a section where people can write in information, and we're very active looking at that as well. So super appreciate the time. So thank you so much.
Thank you both so much. You guys
No, Nadir, it's your turn. Tell everyone where they can find you on social media. The link to your Instagram is in the description of this episode, but please tell everyone where they can find you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so it is primarily the Instagram, Kadar's Quest, that we have. That's where we're sort of following these things. Other than that, I personally have struggled very hard to keep off of other social media. So right now, that's where you can find me.
All right. Sophia,
All right,
where
you
can
can
they
find
you in?
You can find me at Sophia Cormier on all the social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Blue Sky, Cameo, Patreon, Tumblr, and you can find the Angrygeeks on the same platforms and the AngryGeeksShow.com.
And don't forget, on your Amazon or Roku device, download that Pod TV app. And every Friday night, Saturday morning, you can sit there, eat your cereal, and eat your eggs, drink your coffee. Look at this face while you're just like you used to do when you watch Saturday morning cartoons. Look at that. And make sure if you're in the Colorado Springs area, we're going to be hitting the stage. The event schedule is up. The panel schedule is up. Make sure you stop by, say hi. We are the Angry Geek Show. We want to thank Yander and Nadir for being on, and to the boss, Eric Yako, for turning us on to these cats. We will see you guys. That's right, man. Go that face. That face.
Get the Frosted Flakes.
Get the
Yes.
Frosted Flakes. That's right. We're doing Great Lake Frosted Flakes. I'm stealing that, Spidey. I told you. Hey, we will see you guys this Monday, but then we're on hiatus for the next 2 shows, next Thursday and Monday, because we're traveling. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we are the Angry Geeks. Start the raid.